Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the first Sight Goggle and Jack YouTube video. So I'm going to do my first one on a bullet journal. And this is my bullet journal. It's a Moleskine or Moleskine. In Southern Appalachia, we say Moleskine. And this one's brand new. So I can show you what's inside this one because there's nothing in it. You can't see what's inside this one. There's stuff in there I don't want people to see. I just as soon forget it. But this one lives in my back pocket. I live with this one. It looks pretty bad because I have been sitting on it. It's curved. I keep it right next to my heart in my left rear pocket. And when I started this one, I thought, well, I'll keep my bullet journal in this direction and then flip it and keep my notes in this direction. And then when they meet in the middle, I'll be done. I don't really like that. So in my new one, I'm just going in one direction. And I can fit a year in here if I format small and I keep things simple. You can put a year in a Moleskine if you're not doing a lot of detailed daily stuff. At work, I'm kind of forced to use Microsoft Outlook. Everybody else uses it, and we can send invitations to each other. So all my work stuff, all that detail, all the gory detail is on Microsoft Outlook. And my bullet journal is just to kind of keep me on track, let me know where I'm supposed to be, when I'm supposed to be there. It's got all my personal stuff in here, doctor appointments and things like that. And it's got some trackers that are just for me. They won't make sense to anybody else but me. So I don't want that on my Outlook calendar, and I don't want people at work knowing all my shit. So this is my personal bullet journal that kind of just gives me a global view of where I need to be. So I'll show you my new one. I run mine from June till June, and that's kind of odd for most people, but my birthday is in June, and that seems like a more fitting time to start over and plan for the year. I really like Moleskine. They're tough. As you can see by this one, I mean, it's ridden in my back pocket most of the time, and it's crammed full of stuff. So they can hold up. If some pages fall out by the end of the year, I don't care. I'm going to throw this away and start over. I like to use a lot of Post-its, so I keep them stored in the front cover. This keeps, I'm going to say a lot because this is my first video. These are great for if you don't want to dedicate a page to notes and you want to be able to just get rid of a note. You know, notes should be temporary. You know, you turn them into a task, or you memorize what's on it, or you send an email or whatever it is, and then you throw it away. So I'm not going to dedicate a page to something that's just like a note, a throwaway note. These little ones are good if you need to write a phone number and hand it off to somebody. These are great for shopping lists, and it makes a good use for this front page, which ordinarily would be kind of wasted. This one, so Moleskines have this really funky page where the first page is glued to the cover. So I've made a little pocket out of this, and one in the back too. And this one's got holidays on it. And this one has a 3-year calendar, which is great for, I'll show you later, but if you're involved in any kind of animal husbandry where you're counting off dates, important dates in the future, or just any future planning, this is great. So that goes in there. And I'm going to do this through the viewfinder. Yeah, I did it. I have a key here. It's just your typical bullet journal key. No need to reinvent the wheel. I did everything in pencil. I do everything in pencil because I don't care what it looks like. It just needs to be legible. There's no stickers. There's no watercolor. There's no stamps. They have something called washi tape. I don't know what that is. There's none in here. I'm not against that. I wish I had the time to do that, or I was creative, but I'm just not. So I started with an index and a future log. Nothing new. Typical. I'm not reinventing the wheel. This is it. This is a bullet journal. Index, future log, and then I went ahead and formatted, and I do this. I want to go ahead and I format my whole year. And it's an investment in time. It shows me how much space I've got. If I need to write small, I'll write small. If I need to encroach on another day, I'll encroach on another day. I don't care. I don't care what it looks like. And it's all in pencil. There's some highlight in here just for days I'm on call, so I don't miss that. And it's just, I went ahead and populated it with some of my, reoccurring things that just always happen on a certain day. And you can fit an entire year on 82 pages. So you could, if you wanted to do 6 months at a time, you could do 6 months in a field notes and just have a future log that was just in a separate piece of paper, and you stick it in the front of your field note. You go through 6 months, you take that out, you stick it into your next field notes, and you could do a year in 2 field notes if you're not doing any trackers. If you're just doing a bullet journal with dates and tasks, then you could easily do it in a smaller notebook. But I don't mind carrying this. This is not too bad for me. It may be for you. For me, this fits in my pocket, and I'm happy with it. I really like it. So my index is all my months and my trackers, and then there's a gap of empty space. So I've even got empty pages here that I'm not using. And then the very last is a memory practice. I'll explain that in a little bit. And my next Bujo notes, and we'll get to that. Future log, and then my first monthly, and pretty simple, pretty basic, nothing to it. And then I go straight into the very next is my weekly or dailies. I'm not sure what you would call it. And even if a month ends, like July ended here, well, I'm not going to waste this paper, so I just went ahead and started with July. And then at my next 2-page spread, there's my monthly. So I know I have to look back for a couple of days, but I don't mind, and it saves paper. And so that's it. Easy, 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 very basic, keeps me on track. It's not pretty, and I don't care. I really like that it looks lived in, and it's tore up, and it's dog-eared, and there's coffee stains, and who knows what else is in this. There's stuff stuck in it. There's stuff stuck on it. So it's well lived in, and it's ready to just, go in a drawer somewhere or get thrown out. It's the past. The past doesn't matter to me anymore. It's the future I'm looking at. And my year goes to here. And then I start my trackers. And I did a kind of an intention page on a Post-it note, because it may not last, of why I want to track stuff. And I'm turning 60, so my intention for tracking starting this year is to age well, to maintain a reasonable level of financial, physical, and mental stability as long as possible. And in here, there are spending trackers, a fitness tracker, and a memory tracker that I'll get to. This was really helpful in my last one. It's just a spending tracker. I write down everything that I spend, other than bills, reoccurring bills that are usually just automatically taken out. I'm not tracking that, but any of my spending, I'm writing, and then I'm writing whether it was a need or a want. And that kind of keeps me on track as far as mindless spending. And I kept some blank pages so that I could go forward with that. And then the next one is a fitness tracker. And the things I'm tracking in June are rowing. I row every other morning. Strength training in between. Walking for stress relief and flexibility. So there's 31 days will fit on a 2-page spread vertically, or in this orientation. And then I'm doing this month by month as I go. I'm not formatting throughout because I may change. My workout routine may change, and I may add things may go away. And I've saved a few pages for that. I raise rabbits. We raise rabbits for meat, and I keep a rabbit tracker. So this is where that 3-page thing came in, the calendar. It's nice to note when a doe was bred, and then the gestation period, when I need to put a nest box in. Any kind of animal husbandry. Raised quail last year, so it's nice to be able to have a place that I knew I could go to remember when I put eggs into an incubator, when chicks went into a brooder, so anything like that. And then just blank pages until I get to my memory work, which is somewhere. I'll edit this out, or I may leave it in. Memory, okay. So I'm using Freemasonry as my memory exercise. So my goal this year is to learn all the speaking parts to open and close a Master Mason Lodge. And I'm beginning my exercise with a study of my signs and the closing charge. And I'm trying to learn all the black letter stuff. If you're a Freemason, you may know what that means. All the speaking parts, from junior deacon up to worshipful master, in both opening and closing a lodge. And then I've got months sectioned out like the future log, so that I can just take notes of what I'm doing and what I intend to do and how it went. And then lastly, there is 3 pages. Next Bujo, things to keep, things to change or add, and things to ditch, things that just didn't work. And here's another one of those goofy pages that I made an envelope, and our envelope a pocket, and I made a little ruler out of a piece of cardstock. And that is almost it. Here's my favorite part of this year's, and it is a project page. So there's a little pocket on the back of these moleskines, and I took my knife and I cut the gusset out, stuck Post-it notes in there, and these are the projects that I've got going on at home. So I'm building a polytunnel. So this is the greenhouse project. Remodeling the garden this year, taking everything out and starting over. And I've got some things I want to do in the orchard. I want to move my rabbitry to a new location, and I want to create a mushroom bed. And the great thing about this is it gives you a big kind of global overview, and some things overlap. So I'll be taking the beds out of here and I'm going to put them into the mushroom bed. And I want to add irrigation to the orchard, and the mushroom bed is going to need irrigation. And that's one project. And these 2 things are related. So it kind of gives me an overview of what I need to do. And it still leaves another blank page for a shopping list for my projects, or for prioritizing things that I want to get done on a weekend. And that's pretty much it. I really like this. Not sure where I saw it. I'm not sure where I saw the little pocket idea. I think Men Who Bullet, maybe. I don't know. But I stole your idea, whoever you are. And that's it. That's my bullet journal for next year. Thanks.